Two spots remain to the most prestigious clan tournament, the Warcraft 3 Champions League LAN Final. Meet Your Makers and World Elite have already both punched their tickets to Cologne, Germany. Mouse Sports are coming off of a big win over World Elite to make it into the playoffs, but they have a huge task ahead of them against SK. Clan Go has to face off against the Beijing esports team. Find out who advances to the finals on episode 27 of Imbalanced. Mouse Sports had some tough losses throughout the season. They lost to all the top 4 teams in addition to losing to the worst team. SK, on the other hand, was one of the most consistent teams. They scored between 2 and 4 points every single clan war. If you look at their lineup, you can see why. Remind, Soju, Lin, and their 2v2 are all very strong. Add to that another good solo player in either Hot, Insomnia, or X-Lord, and you have an extremely strong team. They won't blow people out, but they can count to 3 easily, and that's all you need to do. Mouse Sports have some big name talent in Sass and Fly, but that's about all they have. They need some big wins from those two in addition to the 2 versus 2 to have a good chance of winning at this clan war. First off, Mouse Sports needs Sass to pull off a victory in Night Elf Mirror against Soju. The two start on Turtle Rock. After creeping to level 2, the two players harass each other at the Goblin Merchant. At tier 2, the fight is at the tavern. Soju forces a town portal out of Sass and gets an early advantage. No one tries to push at tier 2 and they both go for bears. They micro very, very well and save all but 1 bear each, but Soju has to retreat to heal up. He doesn't get the time that he needs to heal as Sass stays all over him. Their armies are basically equal, but Soju's Demon Hunter gets forked and then Naga gets chased down by the Demon Hunter for a second hero kill. Soju can't come back and Sass looks strong with a quick tier 3 victory. For game 2, Soju goes on Lost Temple where he switches over to Orc. This year, Lost Temple Orc players have had a 58% winning chance on their games against Night Elf, so at least statistically it's a very smart choice for Soju. The battles are always at the middle of the map early on. This game is no different as both players compete for the green creeps. Sass goes for grunts and surrounds 1 grunt before getting a surround on the Blade Master, a very strong performance early. Soju comes right back with his Shadow Hunter at tier 2 and gets and uses Hex coupled with Speed Scroll to get an early hero kill. The Keeper of the Grove comes back and takes out the Shadow Hunter. The KOTG looks like it would be able to escape, but a Raider comes in and uses Entangle to stop it. Even with that, Soju can't finish off the Keeper of the Grove. Both players fight in the middle again with the tier 2 armies. There are no mass druids of the town because there's no tavern for neutral heroes. The Raiders do well against Dryads while the second heroes of both players fall in the fight. Soju wins and his reward is control of the fountain in the middle, but before he can even finish creeping it, Sass comes back to challenge his authority. Soju takes the fight head on with the Speed Scroll and he opens up with another Keeper of the Grove kill. Soju wins the battle, but the bears are coming. Sass has 4 bears by the time Soju hits him with a 50-foot army. It's really no contest with the Demon Hunter still being revived. Another Keeper of the Grove kill ends the game and Soju forces a 3rd map. That map is Twisted Meadows, and Soju returns to Night Elf. Both players start creeping with an Ancient of War. At tier 2, Sass goes in and takes out Soju's Ancient of War. He loses 3 archers in the process. Despite that loss, he thinks that he can tech to tier 3 and go for bears. Soju rebuilds his Ancient of War and goes for Druids of the Talon and quick push with the archers. Those 3 archers come back to haunt Sass as Soju's army is much larger and Sass has no chance to get bears. The towers go up for Sass, but even with towers, 3 heroes, Soju overpowers him to get the victory. With that loss, Mouse Sports needs some big wins from a couple of key players to win the clan war. Yumiko is their first option. This is his first match this season. He had the unfortunate assignment of playing against Lin. Yumiko starts with a few towers in Lin's base. It's an interesting idea as canceling them costs you nothing and it helps you scout, but he still gets caught using his militia to creep and loses 2 peasants. Lin quickly scouts an absence of a barracks and goes on the offensive. Lin spends his entire time at tier 1 harassing Yumiko's base. He does very well, bringing Yumi down to only 5 peasants without Lin losing anything. At tier 2, he comes into fight with his first Raider as Yumiko brings out his militia. The militia even up the fight, but Yumiko has wood problems before he lost another couple of peasants. Lin hit 50 food and comes back. The 2 players are much closer now as Yumi built up his casters, but some changed lightning and shockwave from dual level 3 heroes tear them to pieces. Lin easily wins, losing only 1 grunt in the final battle. Yumi chooses Twisted Meadows for the next map, and he goes for an expansion, a strategy more commonly seen against Undead and Night Elf opponents. Rather than harass, Lin opts to creep to level 3 before he tries to stop the expansion. By the time he harasses, there's already 1 tower up, so there isn't too much he can do but kill a couple of peasants. Lin starts to put up an expansion of his own while creeping his goblin merchant. He scans and sees the Archmage while the rest of his army is massacring a group of footmen. Despite losing one expansion, Lin expands again on the other side of the map. With a 60-foot army, he fights in the middle of the map. Lin wins, but not decisively enough to win the game just yet. Lin gets dual level 5 heroes and then fights again. This time with a quick Mountain King kill, he really dominates Yumiko, first taking out his heroes and then just letting the level 5 Blade Master go to work on the remaining army. Lin wins the game to put SK 1 point away from a LAN playoff spot. Mouse needs to win all 3 of the remaining matches to have a chance of advancing. All of those matches will be very tough. First, it's the 2 versus 2. Soju and Remind played against Fly and Sass, all very strong players. The first map was Avalanche. Both teams went with an Orc Night Elf combination. SK got an early hero kill while their own Demon Hunter barely survived. Sass opted not to attack and rather to mass units. He also put up an offensive tower while they fight over the fountain. Soju has to town portal out, and that lets him take care of that pesky tower. In the meantime, SK gets another hero kill in the Blade Master before they have to back up. At Tier 2, they fight in the middle, and despite a surround, that Blade Master still survives for a Remind. SK creepjacks Mouse at the fountain, and another hero kill really helps out SK. Soju's Demon Hunter gets surrounded, and it dies, but SK revenges its death with a Blade Master kill and a general massacre of the Mouse Sports army. Finally, Mouse has had enough, and they give up on Game 1. For Game 2, it's match point on Twisted Meadows. Soju decided to stick with archers and tech. Early on, there's some harassment, but the Huntress has come late enough that it's not a big loss for either team. With second heroes out, they fight in the middle of the map. Remind loses a Blade Master, and Soju loses a few archers and nearly the Naga. This could be the comeback that Mouse Sports is looking for. There's a slight creepjack, and Mouse Sports gets a Shadow Hunter kill, followed by a Naga kill, which looks awfully good for them, but SK has the army battle in their favor. SK goes on the offensive, and rather than go for hero kills, they simply dominate the army battle and win the game. That gives SK a spot in the LAN finals where they will play World Elite in their first round matchup. Even though the clan war is over, we have 2 games from a best-of-3 left between Fly and Hot. Hot is coming off of a 4th-place finish at the International Esports Tournament, and Fly has only had a decent performance this year. He made it to the World Cyber Games out of China, which is a very strong performance, but in the actual tournament at World Cyber Games, he only managed to make it to the round of 16. They start on Echo Isles, the worst map for Orc against Night Elves. At Tier 2, Hot goes for some harassment, but Fly fights it off admirably. The harassment comes back again, and Hot goes for the Spirit Lounge. Fly gets a hero surround on the Demon Hunter, and doesn't matter because the Staff of Preservation gets passed around, and the Demon Hunter makes it out. The Spirit Lounge also stays up. They fight again in the middle, and this time the Beastmaster goes down without being staffed. Fly does very well, and he forces a town portal. Hot stays on the offensive, going after Fly's base. Fly heavily uses Wands of Illusion, but he still can't get to the Druids of the Talent. He nearly takes out the Demon Hunter, but it town portals out at the last moment. 15 minutes into the game, and it's another slugfest. The Demon Hunter gets trapped and has to use an invulnerability potion. All of Hot's heroes are low, but Fly can't capitalize and get to the Druids of the Talent, or get any hero kills. Hot finds the Blade Master and traps it. The Blade Master nearly gets the Demon Hunter, but it's not enough. Fly goes on the offensive, but he has a town portal out early. He knows about the expansion, and he goes in to hit it hard. He gets it without losing too many units, and town portals out. With both Golden Nines out, Fly goes on the offense. Both players micro well, and more illusions come out for Fly. A very nice use of the marketplace, but despite a close battle, there's just nothing Fly can do against the army, and he has to concede the first game. The next map is Twisted Meadows. Fly starts off with an archer kill during harassment. Then they fight at the shop to see who gets the Boots of Speed. Fly gets it and runs away. The Demon Hunter then goes into the back of Fly's base for a grunt kill and sticks around to get a burrow or two. At Tier 2, Fly goes on the offensive with a few grunts and a mercenary. The next fight is a creepjack on Fly, but it doesn't turn out well for Hot. Fly forces a town portal out of the Demon Hunter and gets a few Druids of the Talon at the same time. They fight in the middle a few moments later, and Fly gets the advantage, taking out the Beastmaster and then getting to focus on the Druids of the Talon. Hot tries to retreat, but he loses all but a few Druids of the Talon. Then he makes a stupid mistake and loses his Goblin Tinker. Fly goes on the offensive, and without a Beastmaster, things look good for him, but without too many Raiders, he can't win just yet. The Blade Master gets low, and he goes after heroes and gets the Beastmaster before he finally town portals out. Fly comes back, and his army is still low, but Hot's army is even worse off. A level 5 Torn Chieftain really hurts the Druids of the Talent, and Fly takes the second game. The third game was not played because the clan war had ended, because the first team to 3 points gets the victory.